Welcome, dear listener. You're here because something inside of you is calling for peace, for a moment of stillness in this chaotic world. In our fast-paced, technology-driven lives, it can feel like peace is just a distant dream. The noise of the world, the noise of our mindsets, overwhelming at times, isn't it? We're constantly bombarded by distractions. The pressures of work, family, the constant stream of notifications, and the never-ending list of things to do. It's easy to feel like we're caught in a whirlwind, unable to find that quiet place inside ourselves. But let me tell you something. Peace isn't something you need to search for. It's already inside you, waiting to be discovered. Inner peace isn't a place you arrive at after a long journey. It's a state of being, a way of living. It's about reconnecting with yourself, slowing down, and making space for stillness. In this guide, we'll explore how mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, can help you find that inner peace. Together, we'll uncover how to quiet the noise in your mind, let go of control, and live in a way that nurtures your emotional and mental well-being. But before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath. Yes, right now. Close your eyes for a moment, if you can. Inhale deeply. Let that breath remind you that peace is always accessible, even in the busiest of times. This journey is about reclaiming your peace. It's a path back to yourself, a journey of awareness and presence. And I invite you to take the first step with me. The noise of the mind. Have you ever tried to quiet your mind, only to find that the harder you try, the louder the thoughts get? It's as if your brain has a mind of its own, constantly racing from one thought to the next, pulling you in a million different directions. This is the noise of the mind. It's the constant chatter, the overthinking, the worry about the future, the regret about the past. It's exhausting, isn't it? And it's no wonder we can't seem to find peace when our minds are in a constant state of frenzy. The first step toward inner peace is acknowledging this noise. So often, we try to push it away or ignore it, thinking that if we just focus harder or try harder, we'll find quiet. But here's the thing. The more we resist the noise, the louder it gets. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts, not as something we need to control or eliminate, but as something we can simply acknowledge without judgment. When you observe your thoughts with curiosity, without trying to change them, they lose their power over you. They become like clouds passing through the sky, there one moment and gone the next. Imagine for a moment that you're standing on a quiet beach, watching the waves gently crash against the shore. The waves come and go, just like your thoughts. Some are big and forceful, others are small and gentle, but they all pass. They all fade away. Your thoughts are no different. They come and go. And while you can't always control when they arrive, you can choose how to react to them. You don't have to get swept away by them. You don't have to let them control you. Let's try something together. Right now, take a moment to observe the thoughts in your mind. Don't try to push them away or stop them. Simply notice them. Are there any recurring thoughts? Are there any emotions tied to those thoughts? Just observe, without judgment. Allow your mind to be what it is, and trust that it will quiet down in its own time. Doesn't that feel different? Just taking a step back, without trying to fix or change anything, allows you to detach from the noise. But here's the tricky part. The noise will always come back. It's part of being human. The key is to remember that you don't have to react to it. You don't have to engage with every thought that arises. You have the power to choose where you place your attention. A simple exercise, observing your thoughts. Let's practice a simple mindfulness exercise right now to help you become more aware of the noise in your mind. I want you to sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. As you breathe, I want you to become aware of any thoughts that arise. Let them come and go naturally, without trying to stop them. You may notice thoughts about your day, about the future, or about things you've forgotten. Whatever it is, just observe them with curiosity. Are they positive? Are they negative? Do they make you feel calm or anxious? If you get distracted, that's okay. Gently bring your focus back to your breath. And when a thought arises, Simply observe it without judgment. Notice it like you're watching a leaf float down a stream. You don't need to hold onto it or follow it. Just let it pass. Try this exercise for a few minutes. You might be surprised at how much more peaceful you feel afterward. A step towards stillness. As you begin to practice this simple act of observing your thoughts, you'll start to notice that the noise in your mind begins to quiet. The more you practice mindfulness, the easier it becomes to let go of the chatter. It's not about forcing the mind to be still, it's about accepting that the noise will come and letting it be without judgment. This is the beginning of finding inner peace. It's a journey, and like all journeys, it starts with small steps. Each time you observe your thoughts with curiosity, you are creating space for peace. Reflection. Take a moment to reflect on what you've just experienced. How did it feel to observe your thoughts without judgment? How often do you find yourself lost in the noise of your mind? What would it be like to let go of the need to control every thought, to simply observe it and let it pass? The practice of mindfulness is about making space for peace. It's about letting go of the noise and coming back to the present moment. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to find stillness, no matter what is happening around you. And remember, this is just the beginning. The journey toward inner peace is ongoing, and every step you take brings you closer to the calm that you seek. The power of the present moment. We've just touched on the noise in your mind, but now let's dive into something even more profound. The power of the present moment. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Live in the moment. We've all heard it before, but have you truly stopped to think about what it means to live in the present? To be fully immersed in this very moment without being pulled away by the past or future? It's easy to say we're present, but how often are we really here? How many times do we find ourselves thinking about what we'll have for dinner, what happened last week, or worrying about what might happen tomorrow? It's easy to get caught up in the distractions, but when we're not fully present, we miss out on the beauty and peace of the now. Mindfulness is all about bringing your attention back to the present. It's about focusing on what's happening right here, right now. It's about appreciating the simple act of breathing, of feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, of listening to the sound of birds outside your window. Let's take a moment together to practice being fully present. A practice of presence. I want you to take a few deep breaths again. As you inhale, feel the air fill your lungs. As you exhale, feel your body relax. Now, I want you to bring your awareness to the world around you. What do you hear? Maybe there's a soft hum in the background, the rustle of leaves outside, or the sound of your own breath. What do you feel? Can you sense the ground beneath you, the air around you, the fabric of your clothes? What do you smell? Is there a hint of something in the air, the freshness of the world, or the warmth of your surroundings? Stay with these sensations for a moment. Allow yourself to be completely immersed in the present. No past, no future, just this moment. Let go of the need to plan, to judge, to think. Just breathe and experience. It's easy to overlook these moments, but this is where peace lives, in the simple act of being present. So often, we search for peace in distant places, vacations, retreats, moments when everything is perfect. But peace isn't something external. It's something you can create right now, right here, by being present. The role of acceptance. The present moment is not always perfect, and that's okay. Sometimes the present is uncomfortable, stressful, or painful. But here's the thing, peace isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about accepting it. Acceptance doesn't mean that you're okay with everything that's happening, but it means you're not fighting against it. When we fight the present moment, when we resist what is happening right now, we create more suffering for ourselves. It's like trying to push against a current in a river. The harder you fight, the stronger the current becomes. But when you surrender to the flow, you find that things become easier. Mindfulness teaches us to accept the present moment as it is, without judgment. You don't need to change anything. Whether it's a joyful moment or a difficult one, the present is always an opportunity to practice acceptance. By doing so, you make space for peace. A simple exercise, surrendering to the moment. Take a moment to sit comfortably and close your eyes again. As you breathe deeply, bring your attention to something in your life that you may be resisting. Maybe it's a situation, a thought, or an emotion that you've been avoiding. Now, rather than trying to change or fix it, I want you to simply accept it as it is. Allow it to exist without judgment. You don't need to like it, but you can allow it to be a part of the present moment. If you find resistance creeping in, simply return to your breath. Focus on the act of breathing in and breathing out. Let each breath be a reminder that the present moment is always here, waiting for you to step into it with acceptance. Feel the peace that arises when you stop fighting what is and simply allow it to be. This is the power of mindfulness, the ability to surrender, to be present, and to accept life as it is without needing to control it. Letting go of control. One of the biggest obstacles to inner peace is the need to control everything. We all want things to go a certain way. We plan, we strategize, and we try to control the outcome of every situation. But what if I told you that the need to control is one of the biggest sources of stress and unrest in our lives? Think about it. How often do you feel frustrated when things don't go according to plan? How many times have you tried to force something to happen, only to feel disappointed or stressed when it doesn't turn out the way you expected? The truth is, life is unpredictable. It's full of surprises, both good and bad. And while we can make choices, we can't control everything. The more we try to control, the more we suffer when things don't go the way we want them to. Inner peace comes from letting go of the need to control everything. It's about accepting that we don't have the power to dictate every outcome. It's about trusting that things will unfold as they are meant to, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is surrender and allow life to flow. Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop making choices or taking action. It simply means you release the attachment to specific outcomes. You let go of the pressure to control every detail, and instead, you trust that things will unfold in their own time. A practice of surrender. Let's practice letting go of control together. Find a comfortable position and take a deep breath. As you exhale, allow any tension in your body to release. Feel your shoulders drop, your jaw relax, and your hands soften. Now, think about an area in your life where you've been trying to control things too much. Maybe it's your career, your relationships, or your future. Acknowledge the desire to control this area, but instead of trying to force things into place, simply let it go. Imagine that you are holding on to this situation with your hands tightly clenched. Now, slowly open your hands and release the grip. Let go of the need to control. Trust that things will unfold in their own way, even if it's not exactly what you had in mind. As you release control, feel a sense of freedom. Feel the peace that comes from surrendering the need to have everything figured out. This is the path to inner peace, accepting life as it comes, without the need to control every moment. Cultivating compassion. The last piece of the inner peace puzzle is compassion. Compassion for others, yes, but also compassion for yourself. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to be hard on ourselves. We criticize ourselves for our mistakes, we push ourselves too hard, and we judge ourselves for not being good enough. But this constant self-criticism only leads to stress and anxiety. It creates a sense of unworthiness that robs us of our peace. Inner peace comes from learning to be kind and gentle with yourself. It comes from practicing self-compassion. This means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. It means forgiving yourself for your mistakes and accepting that you are human, just like everyone else. The art of letting go. Why it's hard, but worth it. You might be thinking, letting go sounds nice, but how do I actually do it? It's a question that many people ask, especially when life gets complicated or overwhelming. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care about something. It means you stop trying to control everything and allow life to flow naturally. Here's the thing. We all hold on to something. Maybe it's a past mistake, a failed relationship, or even just expectations about how your life should be. We grip these thoughts tightly, and they become part of who we think we are. But holding on too tight only leads to suffering. Imagine your thoughts and worries are like leaves in the wind. If you try to catch every single leaf, you'll quickly find yourself overwhelmed. But if you let the wind take the leaves, you create space to move freely. That's what letting go does. It creates space for peace, for new possibilities, and for joy to enter. Interactive exercise. Releasing a burden. Let's do a simple exercise together. Think of something in your life that you feel you need to let go of. Maybe it's a grudge, a fear, or an old regret. Take a moment and picture yourself holding this burden in your hands, like a heavy stone. Feel the weight of it. Now imagine that you have the power to release this stone, to let it fall gently away. As you release it, feel the lightness in your body. With each breath, you feel more free, more at peace. Letting go is a practice, and each time you release a little more, you create room for greater calm. What would your life look like if you could let go of just one burden today? The path to mindful living, a daily practice. The word mindfulness gets tossed around a lot, but what does it really mean? Mindfulness is more than a buzzword. It's a way of living. It's the art of being fully present and aware without being lost in your thoughts or distracted by the outside world. When you practice mindfulness, you're training your mind to focus on what matters most in each moment. You can be mindful while drinking a cup of coffee, while walking through the park, or even while washing the dishes. The key is to pay attention to what you're doing, to be fully present with it, without judgment. But here's where it gets interesting. When you practice mindfulness, you start to notice how much of your mind is usually preoccupied with the past or the future. Most of us spend a lot of time in our heads, replaying old conversations, worrying about what's to come, or planning for the next big event. But when you bring your attention back to the present, something magical happens. Your mind quiets, and peace enters. Mindfulness in action. A simple, step-by-step guide. Let's take a moment to bring mindfulness into your life. Here's a simple exercise you can try anytime, anywhere. Stop what you're doing. Whether you're working, eating, or even just sitting, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and breathe in slowly through your nose. Fill your lungs completely. Focus on your senses. What do you hear? Can you smell anything? What do you feel around you? Notice the physical sensations in your body, the temperature of the air, or the texture of what you're holding. Let go of any distractions. Let go of thoughts about the past or the future. If your mind drifts, gently bring it back to the present moment. Be here now. Stay with this mindfulness for a few moments, just being present in whatever you're doing. You can repeat this practice multiple times throughout the day. By practicing mindfulness in small moments, you'll notice how much more peace you feel. Even in the middle of your busy life, it's like pressing pause on the chaos around you. Gratitude. The secret to unlocking peace. One of the most powerful practices for cultivating peace is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong in your life to what's right. It's easy to get caught up in complaining or focusing on what's missing, but gratitude reminds us of the abundance that's already present. Gratitude is like a mental switch. When you consciously choose to focus on what you're thankful for, you start to see the world through a different lens. Instead of worrying about what you lack, you begin to appreciate everything you have. Let's pause and reflect for a moment. Think of 3 things you're grateful for today. Maybe it's a warm cup of tea, a friendly smile, or simply being alive. It doesn't have to be anything big. The small moments are just as powerful. Gratitude exercise. A daily gratitude journal. A great way to deepen your gratitude practice is by keeping a daily journal. It doesn't have to be complicated. Every evening, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for that day. It could be anything from a conversation you had to the beauty of a sunset, or even a simple moment of peace. Over time, you'll begin to notice how much there is to be grateful for. Even on the toughest days, there's always something good to reflect on. Gratitude doesn't just bring you peace, it helps you reframe your perspective and embrace a mindset of abundance. The transformative power of meditation. Now that we've explored mindfulness, let's talk about another powerful tool for inner peace: meditation. Meditation is more than just sitting quietly with your eyes closed. It's a practice of stilling the mind, letting go of distractions, and allowing yourself to simply be. Meditation has been shown to reduce stress, increase focus, and improve overall well-being. But even more importantly, it opens the door to deeper inner peace. When you meditate, you're creating a space for peace to grow. It's like planting seeds of calm in the soil of your mind. The more you meditate, the stronger your peace becomes. Guided meditation. Calming the mind. Let's do a short guided meditation to experience this peace for ourselves. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. As you exhale, let go of any tension you might be holding in your body. Now, imagine a calm, peaceful place, maybe a beach, a forest, or a mountaintop. Picture yourself there, feeling completely relaxed and at peace. With each breath, you sink deeper into this peaceful place. As you breathe in, feel the air filling your body with calm. As you breathe out, release any stress or tension. Allow each breath to carry you deeper into relaxation. If thoughts arise, don't fight them. Simply observe them and let them float away, like clouds passing in the sky. Return your attention to your breath, the peaceful place you've created, and the stillness within. Peace is a choice. At the end of the day, inner peace is a choice. It's about how you respond to the world around you. Life will always present challenges, stress, difficult situations, and uncertainty, but you have the power to choose how you react. Peace isn't something you find outside yourself. It's something you create within. By choosing mindfulness, acceptance, gratitude, and compassion, you cultivate a state of inner calm that stays with you no matter what's happening around you. Embracing peace. The journey continues. As we come to the end of our time together, remember this: inner peace is not a destination, but a journey. It's not something that you can achieve in a single moment, but rather something you cultivate over time, each day, and with each step you take. You might face challenges. There will be days when peace feels distant, when the world feels too loud and your thoughts too overwhelming. But the beauty of peace is that it's always within reach. It's there, quietly waiting for you to return to it, no matter how far you wander. It's like a river, always flowing, always present, even if you can't see it clearly through the storm. In these moments of chaos, remember the simple practices we've explored: the breath, the gratitude, the letting go. They are tools, not just for finding peace when everything is calm, but for finding peace when everything is falling apart. And remember, peace is a choice. You are the one who chooses to respond with calm when life gets difficult. You have the power to create moments of stillness and mindfulness in even the most chaotic situations. It starts with the decision to be present, to be aware, and to choose peace over stress, over worry, over fear. The world may always be changing, but your inner peace does not have to be. It is your foundation, your steady ground, the one thing you can return to when the world gets too loud. You have the power to decide that, no matter what happens, you will remain grounded in peace. So take this wisdom with you. Let it remind you in those quiet moments and in those chaotic ones that peace is always available. You are worthy of this peace. You deserve it. And as you go forward, share it. Share your peace with those around you. Let your calm presence become a beacon for others who are searching for their own peace. Be a reminder that it's possible to stay grounded, to stay calm, to stay peaceful no matter what life throws your way. You are the peace that you seek. It is not something to chase, but something to cultivate, something to embrace, something to choose every single day. So take a deep breath now, and know that peace is already within you. Thank you for joining me on this journey to inner peace. Now, go forth and live it.